guys familiar with the old saying, always bet on black? Essentially what I'm trying to say is with age comes wisdom, and I've accrued a lot of both, and as my mind has grown, I've come to understand certain truths, such as a large number of the people on this channel don't follow me for my analytical mind, my brilliance, but rather because they think I'm a clown, a buffoon, an act. Well, today, we rectify this. How do we do that, you may be asking? With a quest. A months-long, never-ending quest to determine just how good I really am at Genshin lore. But fear not, for the road ahead is in fact long and the trials are many. We will march into the storm knowing full well that not all of us will see the end, yet we still march for the truth! Oh wait, the truth regarding my reputation within this community, and though it may cost us dearly, it is a price we are willing to pay. Let the heavens bear... No. Let the heavenly principles... No. Let Fanes... No. Let the primordial one, a progenitor god, ailing from beyond the stars, bear witness to these tribulations. So, how are we going to do this? It's quite simple, actually. We're simply going to go look at the older video, starting with 4.0, and seeing which claims and theories I made wound up true or false. There will be three categories. Theories I got right, theories I got wrong, and pending. Theories that have, yet to go anywhere. So, welcome, my turtles, to the very first episode of How Good is Delete at Genshin Impact Lore and Theories. While this channel no doubt has a long and storied history dating back over 10 years with some of the greatest hidden videos in human history.
Gentlemen, welcome to the 5th annual Mandingo Party!
Wow, look at the stare in my eyes. I think I was like 15, 14 when I made this video. You're probably wondering what I'm staring at so intently while undressing. You will never find the answer to that. Ultimately, I only made my first Genshin lore video nearly 2 years ago to this day during patch 4.0, a video that theorized why Farina could be heard crying if you went near the Fountain of Lucine.
Farina can actually be heard crying at the Fountain of Lucine. If you haven't, then I'll just play it for you right now. I decided to sit here and propose one theory. To understand this theory, we need to go all the way back to Sumeria, when we were asking Nahida about Fontaine. Do you remember what Nahida said?
As Archon, she still reserves the right to influence the final verdict.
However, having been a part of 2 separate trials, we saw firsthand that Farina does not do this at all. We also know that by law, the Oratrice's verdict is final. So what if, instead of never influencing the verdict of the trials, Focalors is always influencing the verdict of the trials because she is the Oratrice? Now, there are some things to know with this theory. For it to work, Farina would almost certainly have to be split completely into 2, because Child's verdicts also left her surprised, as she couldn't have seen it coming.
Dawit be thy name, brilliant be thy game, but am I right or am I wrong? I mean, yes, I said there were 2 Farinas and one that resided within the Oratrice, but I also said that the Farina in the Oratrice was the one that was crying, when in actuality, 'twas Focalors in the Oratrice, and she had no humanity left. She couldn't even shit. Jeffrey Dahmer feeling bitch. Whilst the crying came from the human Farina in the real world. Now, as judge, jury, and executioner with this game show, and the fact that, shocker, I'm biased towards myself, I'm giving myself the point. Go up there, you fine little thing! Shake that ass number 1. Hey! Why does it... Bro! Why does it look like that? The next theory video I had to do was the nature of Child's guilt in his trial. Now, I actually don't remember what I said, but given the thumbnail shows a picture of Arlecchino, this is either masterful clickbait or I am in trouble.
The reason that Child was found guilty by the Oratrice was due to his connection to the Abyss and awakening it while he was in the Abyss. It being the whale he saw in a dream while he was in the Abyss, which is thought to come from the Primordial Sea. The Oratrice, being powered by the Divine, could possibly find anything with remnants of the Abyss and connections with the Primordial Sea guilty by proxy, and thus that's why Child was found guilty.
Okay, not bad, not bad, but wait a second. There's a second theory here. Let's see what this has to say.
The reason Child was found guilty was because Linny and Lynette tampered with the Oratrice at the behest of Arlecchino to frame Child. So, with that being said, we can draw some loose-fitting reasons as to why Arlecchino would do this. A, She wants Child out of the picture for some reason. I mean, I don't know, I guess. But B, which is actually an interesting one, is doing this whole show of putting a Harbinger behind bars in an effort to pull something off even bigger, say get the Gnosis, is why this whole thing was done. It's all a show to mesmerize the audience while something even bigger is happening behind the curtains. Let's not forget what Lenny said in the Overture teaser.
But what you see is not real. It's all a show, and every part of the show is carefully controlled by choosing the right time, the right place, and the right people.
Honestly, not a bad theory, not a bad go of it, Dowie. Good on you. But which one did I ultimately side with?
Those are the two theories for why Child was rendered a guilty verdict. Personally, I don't know if any of these are true. I think there's still too many questions at this time, but I pray the second one is.
Oh, you're such a pussy, man. Just give me the point for wrong. That just pissed me off. Pick a fucking theory, you dope. The next video I made was about the one Melazine who said Paimon had a string attached to her extending towards the sky. I didn't make a theory, I just sort of broke down the quote and possible implications, so we move. And then after that video... Farina is an imposter. Who is she really? Now, if you're new here, you might be looking at this title going, not bad. You weren't wrong. She wasn't the real god of justice. Did you say as much in the video? And I did. Here, take a look.
I am currently tapping into my omnividence, granted to me by the powers of nigahology, to see past the act, or deception if you will, seeing as everyone in Fontaine seems to love that word, to call it right now, that Farina is not the real god of justice.
Phenomenal! I sense a dub coming now, as long as you don't immediately follow up this claim with some outlandish, nonsensical statement. You're golden, baby!
Because Farina is actually Istaroth, the god of time and wind, and one of the four shades of the primordial one.
The powers of nigology, I think was the word used there, the source of my knowledge. A bit off base on this one, that's alright, man. Damn, score's looking, what, 1-2, huh? Need a strong bounce back video. Oh, dear God.
Does Farina know who Nervalet is? It's an interesting question when you learn who Nervalet actually is, and for those that don't know, let me fill you in, don't worry. Nervalet is currently thought to be the reincarnation of the Hydro Sovereign, who itself is thought to be Skyla, the dragon prince that aided and then helped to ruin the ancient kingdom of Rumeria.
I'll give myself one correct and one incorrect point. I at this point, really need a hero to save me. Please, next video be a— oh my God!
Who are you? What are you trying to do? Please, don't kill me. I'm begging you.
Now, there are a couple of theories on who this mystery assailant could be, but before we go over that, let me go over who it probably isn't, and that's Arlecchino.
You fucking idiot. The next video— I said wrong point, by the way, without fucking it. The next video is an interesting one, and despite its title, the video is about where the Hydronosis could be, and in it, I propose a couple of different places.
Final place I can see the Gnosis being is the Oratrice, but that sounds so boring, man. It could be the energy that fuels the Oratrice, and this is most likely the answer. But man, this is the dullest one, dude.
I'm giving myself the point. And the final video I made in 4.0 was about teleport waypoints, which obviously we know nothing about. So the score for all of 4.0 is 3-4. Not bad. Now, to be fair, in my defense, during all of 4.0, I was sick, recovering from COVID, cancer, 3 gunshot wounds, dementia, Alzheimer's, and being French. So honestly, it's probably 7-0.